congratulations.
Yeah, thank
Safely
you.
through to round 2,
Yeah.
3 ton-plus finishes.
Yeah.
Fairly satisfied with that one?
Yeah, yes and no. Getting through is the big thing. Obviously, I want to get through it. Do you know what I mean? I want to go as far as I possibly can, but I wanted to sort of put a little bit of a marker today, and yeah, it was a tough game. It was obviously the Ukrainian qualifier. He had a lot of support and stuff, so yeah, it was tough, but yeah, I'm happy to get through.
We didn't know too much about Vladislav before the tournament, so was that difficult for you to prepare? You don't know what to expect, really?
Yeah, yes and no. I think when, like I say, a lot of the time you sort of have a sort of feeling of what players are doing what, but again in another instance you can be like, well, I was going to go and play my game, and hopefully my game's going to be good enough to have enough to beat a qualifier anyway. But I suppose if he's like I say, he's a little bit of an unknown. It was a little bit more difficult than usual. Yeah.
And how would you assess your form coming into this year's World Championship? Because you had a good performance at the Grand Slam, maybe a little bit unlucky not to come through the group. So, are you feeling confident?
Yeah, I was feeling really confident to that display then. But like, I think I'm playing some really good stuff, and I think the thing is with myself, like players know I'm more than capable of my top games, really, really good. But it's just that if I drop off a little bit, then my sort of B and C games probably not quite good enough to win games. But like I say, if I can turn up and play my A game, then a lot of players they've got something to think about.
You mentioned that A game, you'll probably need that in the second round. Is Gerwyn Price the top seed up next? So
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? It must be a game you're relishing.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I say, today was all about getting through that first game. To play Gez's on a world stage, and obviously he was world champion 2 years ago. For me, that's what it's all about. But like I say, I've got to play a lot better than that. Like probably put another 10 points on my average, really, to really push him, really. So if I can do that, then yeah, you never know, really. So, but yeah, the whole thing was win that game, have a shot at Gezi, and then we'll go from there, really. Cheers, no worries.
Luke, on the Gezi game, do you feel that having played on that stage once, you can maybe get the jump on him, because those seeds may be coming a little bit cold, and you've played on there once and know what it's all about? Yeah,
maybe, but like for me today, all I kept thinking was today was like, right, put down a little bit of a marker, let him know you're playing really well, but it hasn't really worked out like that. It was a bit more of a task than I wanted it to be. So, but yeah, I think maybe I think us. Do you know what I mean? At the qualifiers off the Pro Tour, yeah, maybe like having a game on stage before the seeds come in, it might be a little bit. When you're talking about your guesses and stuff, I don't really think they're that bothered about who's had a game. They're that good. So I know I've got to step up tomorrow, and I probably have to put like 10 points on my average, easy to push him, really.
Do you feel there was extra expectation and pressure on your shoulders? Because when the draw came out, everyone said the Ukrainian qualifier was the golden ticket to round 2, if you will. And when it came out, everyone said, "Oh, Luke's got that one." Did you feel that extra pressure of it?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe I think at first I was like, "Oh, sweet, yeah." It doesn't really matter. Game's a game. But as the weeks have gone on, I've had a few people go, "Oh, you're going to win. You're going to win easy." But it's not quite as straightforward as people think. I mean, you've only got to look back at with Keane Barry with the game he had, and he was odds on he was the favourite to win his game, and it never really went that way. So it doesn't really, just because you're the favourite to win the game doesn't mean you're going to stand up on stage and do you know what I mean? And I think I've made quite hard work of that, really, and harder work than I wanted to anyway.
What was your expectations coming into the tournament? Obviously, I know everyone wants to win it, but what was a realistic expectation for you?
I'm not really sure. When I see the draw, and obviously I knew I'd Gezi for obviously getting through the first round, having a shot at Gezi, but I think like tomorrow's going to be a completely different game. If I can turn up and play as well as I have been and feel as well as I have been, then I'll make things difficult for Gezi. But I'm not going to say I'm going to go and beat him, because I know, everyone knows, Gerwyn Price is more than capable of just rattling off legs after leg after leg. So. But I think if I can go and play as as well as I've been practicing and as well as I've been feeling, I can make things really difficult for him. So we'll have to just see tomorrow.
Luke, pleasure. Thanks very much.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you.
Luke, it's a big opportunity tomorrow against Gizzy. Do you take those sort of opportunities in your stride and not really think about all the pressure tomorrow?
Yeah, like I'm not, like say, like my whole thing today was about turning up today and playing my first game today, and then like say if you win today, we worry about tomorrow then. But yeah, like I say, I'm not really overly like worried about playing Gerwyn Price. It's just it's another game of darts. But obviously I know how good Gerwyn is, and he's do you know what I mean? He's a world champion. He's more than capable of turning up tomorrow and beat me off the board. But I think if I can go, like I say, if I can go and play really well, then I can make things really difficult for him.
Yeah, it's going to be the complete opposite of today as well. You obviously went in there as a very heavy favourite. Tomorrow you go in as I imagine quite a heavy underdog. It's a different sort of game, isn't it?
Yeah, I think like I said, I've had people messaging me for weeks. Oh, you're going to win this. You're going to win the first game easy, and you're going to do this. And like it is a slightly different pressure really, because obviously coming like I think I'm like 49th or 50th in the world at the moment. So 9 times out of 10 I'll play somebody that's either in or around or a slightly higher seed than me. But like I say, to people telling me that you should be winning, and it just doesn't work like that. But like I say, tomorrow playing Gezi is going to be, I don't know. I've got to put 10 points on my average, and then I've got to, do you know what I mean, really put it to him and keep him under pressure. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Cheers, Luke.
Cheers, thank you.
Luke, when you're up there playing and you know that you're not throwing to your standard, how do you kind of like recenter yourself and not keep yourself from, falling further down the hole, as it were?
Yeah, it is tough, especially like I say, when you're playing like somebody you think you're probably the better player, and you just got to go every handful, sort of every throw. Do you know what I mean? Every throw's got to be like a new throw, like a new challenge, if that makes sense. So every throw's got to be different. But yeah, it was tough today. He was, I don't know, to play like the Ukrainian qualifier and obviously what's happening with them. The only thing I will say is that I think for him to come over here from what he's been through, and like I've heard reports of he's been practicing with, he's had no electric and stuff, and so pay homage to him. So do you know what I mean? Come over here and play in this championship is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, it was quite tough, but not as tough as obviously what his country's going through and stuff. So yeah, it's fine.
And after the UK Open this year, you were honest and said that you were struggling to kind of get yourself into that practice mode and that travel mode again. Obviously, you've had a lot more on the calendar this year. Have you managed to kind of steady the ship with that? Yeah, I think so. I mean, early doors, I think. I'm not sure it was a little bit of like getting back into normality after COVID and stuff like that, but yeah, I think the last sort of 2 or 3 months I've really sort of settled back into the routine of travelling and do you know what I mean, and practicing and stuff like that. But obviously 2 years before this year, 2 years previous, it was basically like COVID. We weren't really sure when we were playing and what sort of practice you had to do. But yeah, I think like now, like I said, from the Grand Slam stuff, I said like I really think like I can do some really good stuff. So hopefully tomorrow I can step up there and play some really good stuff. And beyond that next game with Gizzy, do you have any goals for the year ahead as you've achieved more and more this year?
No, I think every dart player's goal, like for me when I started playing, was Players' Championship, World Championship. But then as the year's gone on, the match play and the Grand Prix are the main ones I want to. So if I can get in the match play, I think, well, to be honest, if you get in the match play, you're probably getting the Grand Prix. But they're the two really, other than the ones I've already qualified for. If I can get the match play and the Grand Prix, then yeah, that's massive for me. But that's the ones I really want to try and kick on for. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Good luck with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.